All right, Granny. I think it's...
Anyway, I had been walking the street for about a week or two, and I was going towards the Worthing Bag Factory in Nashville, walking down the street towards it. This guy comes along, walks up beside me, and started talking. That's the one that wanted me to go to Vegas with him, and I told him I didn't want to go to Vegas. Well, what are you doing? I said, I'm looking for a job. He said, what kind? I said, just a good job is all I know. And he asked me where I lived. He never did come to the house, but where I lived and what I did and what could I do. I said, whatever somebody wants me to do that's worthwhile. Okay. He was walking down beside me, and I didn't hear him for a couple of minutes or something, and I turned around towards the side he was on, which was my left side, and he wasn't there. He had just disappeared. When I didn't want to go to Vegas with him, he disappeared. Anyway, I went on to the Worthing Bag Factory to put in an application. I don't think I ever got in the application. They hired me. I went to work there. Thursday was my day off, and I hadn't worked but a couple of 3 weeks. And Grandpa come to see me about the second week. That sounds about right. Well, he had been there the 3rd week. And he'd probably been there a couple of times. And then the 3rd week, he came. I was laying in the front room doorway like that one right there. We didn't have a screen on it, so it was open. And I made me a pallet there in front of the door and laid down with my head in the doorway where I could get what air there was, because, it was hot. It was in August, I believe. July or August, something like that. It might have even been September, I'm not sure. I was laying there, and he came. He was in jail for killing that guy. They said he hit him, and he fell when he had the trial. He hadn't had the trial yet. And Mrs. Pierce took me to when he went to trial, because she had took me every time I saw him, or she would bring him to my place to see me, one or the other. So, because he lived with them and worked for them. And he was some kind of a law office, Mr. Pierce was. And he came up Sunday, and I was laying there on my pallet getting some rest to go to work the next morning. And he came up, rode up on the bicycle, and sat down in the doorway like that one. I think it might have had a step or something, and he sat down in the doorway and propped his feet up on something that was out there, and sat there and talked for a while. And then he finally said, what's your day off work? I said, Thursday. Now, this is the best I can remember at the time now. That's been a few moons away. I said, Thursday's my day off. And he said, would you go with me to get a blood test? 'Cause back then you had to have a blood test before you could get a marriage license. I said, when? He said, Thursday. On your day off, will you go with me to get a blood test? I said, yeah, I'll go with you to get a blood test. Okay, I'll see you Thursday about 8 o'clock in the morning. So Christine and Sylvie ran to Magdalene. Everything they heard us say, they tried to get it back to her. And they would run back in there. Aunt Brenda and that man's going somewhere Thursday. They come back and sit down there on the floor by us. He got up and left and went home, and then I don't remember what Magdalene would ask me or say or whatever. And I told her, I said, he asked me to go with him to get a blood test. She said, for what? I said, I don't know for sure. I knew it was pretty sure. I wasn't absolutely sure, though. Okay. I went to work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Thursday, I was still at my shack out in that little old one-room shack that we all lived in. I stayed home that morning. I didn't go to work. So after a while, Mrs. Pierce, I think it was Mrs. Pierce, not him. He was a log of some sort. But anyway, one of them anyway, they already picked him up from, he was living with them, working for him. That's what it was, yeah. And they brought him, or she did, brought him and come and pick me up. And we went I had $3 from my paycheck from working in what did I do?
Bag factory.
That bag factory. I had $3 left from it. And he told me a little later that he had $3. But Mrs. Pierce had told him, or told us when after I got in the car, that if we needed some money, she had some. I think we both told her okay, or something like that. Anyway, she took us to the doctor's building in Nashville, Tennessee. We got our blood test there. I think that's where we got the blood test. And what else did she do at Nashville? I think that was it there. And she had called Ashland City to find out when the courthouse closed. And it was going to be at 3 o'clock. And she called the courthouse, and her being involved with the court system anyway with her husband, they held the courthouse open for her, or for us, till we got back there. We had got our blood test in Nashville. And that took one of our dollars. Maybe both of us didn't have, but one of us had $3, and I don't remember what the other one had. But one of us had $3, and we got down to, I think it was my last dollar that I had that I paid for my blood test, our blood test. And we was waiting we went to Ashland City and got the marriage license. They told us where we could go to get the guy to Notary Public that could marry us. Well, Mrs. Pierce took us there. And his wife said he's not here now. He was in the field working. Okay. Mrs. Pierce, but he'll be here. You can come back after supper and he'll marry you. Okay. So that's what we did. And she took us back out there. I helped. She said, you can go home with me and help me fix supper. I didn't know a thing about helping her fix supper. All I knew to do back in there in them hills and hollers, I knew how to heat some water. Didn't put no soap in it. Would just dabble the dishes out, wipe the inside with the dish rag, and call it washing dishes. Okay. So after supper, I stood down just dabbling the outside of the dishes, because that's what we did at the house.
No, the inside. You just washed the inside. You didn't wash the outside.
Didn't wash the outside or the inside of them. We just wiped it out with the dish rag and water in it. And went ahead and she said, no, honey, we put the dish rag in the water and wash the dishes inside and outside. Okay. So I started doing that.
Was that the first time you'd used, did she have running water?
Yeah.
And you'd never
I
had,
never had
you'd never had running water?
No. Anyway, and I had to go down under the hills when it was hot weather to a spring, go down a hill, past the put hole, because the put hole wasn't fit to use water to use to cook with and drink and stuff. And I'd have to go way on past the put hole, go on level ground after we got down that one hill. We'd go on level ground till we got to the spring, and we called it Benel Spring because the property belonged to the people by the name of Bentels. Bentels, I think is the way it was spelled. So anyway, I helped her. I stood there and helped what little. I don't think I helped her doing dishes or supper or anything, because I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
She taught you what she knew about it.
Huh?
So she taught you what she knew about it.
Oh, yeah. That's where I got my first learning was from the people he was living with. Okay. And then that was Thursday. And I think we went back home. We went home after that, or went to the shack.
So you started school when you started school, how old were you?
They put me in I was probably 15 or 16 years old. I don't know. I never knew how old I was until after I was married a few years. I had been married a few years when I finally called Nashville, and they dug my records out there and said I was born in 1929. I had the right date, February 2nd.
But you never knew what year.
I didn't know what year.
'Cause you didn't, being born at home and out there in the shack, you never had a birth certificate.
Yeah. Anyway, I told them I was 17. No, 'cause I think I told them I was 19. 'Cause they asked Mrs. Pierce how old I was. She said, well, they say she's 21, but I don't know exactly.
Right.
Well,
But you were probably more about 17 when you married Grandpa?
I probably was closer to the 17.
But how old were you? You think you were about 15 when you started school?
I really, because when I called Nashville, they told me I was born in 1929. I don't know. I guess I was giving my age as being born at, I don't know what I would have been if I was really 21 or 7. I think I would have probably been more like 17 when I got married.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
But when you started school, they put you in 3rd grade?
they put me in 3rd grade because Mama had a good education.
Did she?
She did. Papa didn't want to do anything but what he wanted to do. And then after I got married, we got married on a Thursday. And we went back out to the shack on Sunday. I think it was Sunday, and got what stuff my clothes that people had given me at work. Oh, I had nice clothes. And people would give me clothes from work, and I would share them with Magdalene, and what none of us could wear, I would whack them up in between times and sew them together where the kids could wear them. So they had clothes too. They didn't have to wear one dress for a week at a time.
Just hand sew it?
Huh?
You just hand sewed it, didn't you? You didn't have a sewing machine or anything like that?
No, I did it by hand, yeah. And Papa wouldn't let the girls wear pants. He wouldn't let any of us wear pants. Oh, that was wrong. Oh, things he did wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was wrong for girls to wear pants. But I had made friends back and forth when he had stopped me from going one place because he knew I would talk to people. I didn't tell him anything about what he did, but by hurling up and having those kids, they knew they
knew what was going on.
Yeah. But anyway, then after we got married on Thursday, we went back to Pierce's. And we stayed there till Sunday, I think, and we hitchhiked back out there and got my clothes and my 3 little blue piggies. I don't know where they went unless maybe one of the girls might have them. I'm not sure. It would be a knick-knack, and it would be up there with that stuff if I had it, but I don't remember seeing it for a long, long time. But anyway, it was 3 little pigs connected. They were blue. Anyway, I hadn't thought about them till just this last few days. But anyway, we went back out there on Thursday, I think it was.
Sunday. You got married on Thursday?
Yeah, we got married on Thursday, and we went back out there Sunday and visited with Papa was there, so yeah, we visited with him. But before I left home, he would get up of a morning and grab his gun. Now, I tell you, I'm going to get a groundhog or a squirrel or whatever he was going to get. But you better not have no men hanging around here. If you do, somebody will have to come and drag them off. Okay. Well, Grandpa started coming out on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday when he started coming out. And 'cause worked, I was working at the bag factory when Grandpa started coming out there. And he'd ride his bike out there up to the, like I said, I was laying on the pallet in the doorway where I could get what air I could 'cause it was so hot.
You saw him 3 times before you got married.
He came 3 different Sundays and saw me. And the 3rd time I saw him, he said, "Now when's your day off?" I said, "Thursday." He said, "Okay. Would you go with me and take a blood test Thursday?"
How romantic.
Huh? Yeah.
I said, how romantic.
Would you go with me and get a blood test Thursday? Yeah, I'll go with you to get a blood test.
That's all the romance you needed to get out of that hellhole, huh, Granny?
Yeah. And when Christine and Sylvia had the hearing, they had to go tell Magdalene, and Papa heard them when they said Aunt Rena's going somewhere with that man out there Thursday. I told them then, I said, "Yeah, I'm going with him to get a blood test." And they ran and told Magdalene, their mom. And then the next thing he had asked me was when we were going to get that blood test. I don't remember how he asked me about it. If I would go with him to get a blood test and something else. And I said, yeah. And they ran to tell Magdalene I was going to go with him and get something, they said. Oh, a blood test. One of them blurted it out. They're going to do something with their blood. Okay. And they was going to be there. She was going to come get me on the next Thursday, my day off. And she was going to take us. What was we were going to do then? We were going to go get that blood test.
And then go get your marriage license?
No, that wasn't brought up yet. And he asked me while he was sitting there then, or he told me, Mrs. Pierce will be here and pick you up about 8 o'clock. That's what it was.
Mm.
And she hadn't showed up. It was maybe 10 to 15 minutes after 8. And one of them said, "What time is that woman supposed to be here?" I said, "Probably about 8. Papa said, "It's already after 8. That ain't the first goddamn lie at Watson test. I've known the Watsons for years, and there's nothing to it, any of the Watsons." I said, "Well, there can't be any less to them than there is the Adamses." Okay. Oh, you think you're something? No, I just think I'm me. But there ain't nothing no more out there that's any worse than the Adamses that I know. Yeah, you think you're something. No, I don't. But when she came out shortly after that, but Elmer had already come by going to work and stopped, and he heard us kind of in an argument. And when he went home from work that day, he was married. It was Elmer and Willie. And I had been babysitting their kids. 'cause she had wanted to work at Bag Factory too. And anyway, she came, it was just a little after 8. He said, well, he told the kids nothing to any of the blankety blank Watsons. I've known them for years. I said, there can't be any less to them than there is the Adamses. Oh, you think you're something? No, I don't think I'm something. I think I'm me. Anyway, she came pick me up. We went and got the blood test.
So,
We did that at the doctor's building in Nashville.
and when you got back that Sunday after getting married, and you came back and you got your clothes and you got your pigs.
Got my clothes and what odds and ends I had there.
And then you moved in. You stayed with Pierce's for a while. Is that what you did?
I did what?
Did you guys stay with Pierce's for a little while before you moved into Uncle Elmer's?
No, I think we went. I don't remember. Yeah, we did go to Mrs. Pierce, Mr. Pierce. Yeah, he was some kind of a law officer. I don't remember what he was, but
I think you've told me before that he was a deputy constable.
it's something like that. Anyway, we had, I don't know how long it was before Uncle Henry and Aunt Bessie sent us money to catch a bus and come to their place.
And that was in Kentucky?
Yeah.
And that was Grandpa's uncle or yours?
It was Grandpa's uncle and aunt, and they had raised him since he was 9 years old because his mom died. And
what happened to his mom?
I don't know, but she died. Oh, she had TB, I think they said. I remembered it just ran through my mind. His mom and his dad was almost one of them no good people. And he was in jail, I think, when we got together, and that's when
his dad was?
Yeah.
And then
no, my grandpa was. Yeah.
But his mom, what was her name?
Mindy
Watson,
because she was married to Grandpa.
Grandpa's dad.
Yeah.
Do you know her maiden name?
Mindy. Oh, her
maiden name.
Before she married.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know what her name.
But she was Indian.
Yeah.
Was she full-blooded or?
I really don't know that. Pretty close to it. She really looked a lot like Indian. And I don't remember if I even have a picture of her or
I thought you did at one time. It seems like I remember seeing a picture of her.
I might have.
But she died when Grandpa was 9 years old of TB.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
And his uncle and aunt took him in and raised him.
And that's the ones that you rented the store from? They fixed up the store to turn it into a house for you guys, and you rented it for $5 a month?
Yep, we did.
Wow.
And there would be a newspaper come by. I don't remember how often, a newspaper boy. And I'd buy a newspaper from him when he would come by for a nickel a paper. I remember that. And then Thomas come to live with us. And him and Grandpa walked to the sawmill and got a job. I think he was off bearing lumber and stuff at that sawmill. And he tried to do that. Oh, yeah. They had a wonderful life too, off there in that sawmill. And then I ended up getting pregnant. I can't remember.
It was with Bessie, right?
I lost my first one.
I've got a firehouse meeting tonight. I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
This may be Phil, or it might be next door. I don't know. No, it went on. It was a red vehicle. It was too.
Somebody's gonna have to stay tomorrow because I've had concert tickets for Newsboys. Colleen's gonna come pick me up at 5. Okay. Alright. Okay. Love you too. Okay. Okay, bye. So, were you still in Tennessee when you lost Teresa?
Where was we living, honey?
It seems to me like you told me you were still in Tennessee because it seems like I remember you telling me that you walked up and down the streets of Nashville trying to find some information or trying to...
Yeah. And I was trying to get a lawyer. The lawyer said that, well, I can't even remember what he told me, that the only thing he would do was check a little bit on it, and the lawyer didn't take it. He said all he could do was check on it, and it would get the name in the system somehow. I can't remember how he put it, but...
So you had Teresa May at the hospital?
I had her at the hospital, yeah, the first one, because kept telling people, if I have any more kids, I'm not going to the hospital.
Right.
Because I lost the one I had in the hospital. And I didn't. All 7 of these were born at home. I didn't go back to the hospital to have my kids.
So
Aunt Bess and Uncle Henry didn't have any kids. They said she had one by her brother. And I don't know if Uncle Henry didn't want her to have any more or what, but I heard a few times
oh, wow.
that Aunt Bessie had a child by her brother. I never did bring it up to her. So...
No.
But they didn't have any kids.
What is up with the incest being so rampant back then?
Huh?
What was up with the incest being so rampant back then? Or, I mean, where did people get that was okay?
What?
The incest.
Her having a baby by her brother?
Or Magdalene having babies by her dad. I mean, where did these guys get that?
I have no idea. But I told my dad when he kept bugging me, I'd just go out and sit under a walnut tree. I don't care what kind of weather it was. I'm sure now that it probably didn't help me much, but if it made me mad, I didn't care at the time. And when I walked up and down the street trying to get a lawyer to find out what they did with my baby I had at the hospital, and he didn't want to do that either. So, no, I couldn't get any help the right way. All I wanted to do was something I didn't want them to do, so. And when Grandpa was serving time in prison for his mistake, and that was self-defense, but they kept saying, oh, that 9 months will, that year and whatever, year and a day, I think is what they kept telling me he'd get out in. And that's what he got out in, 9 months and 1 day out of prison.
And that was because the guy thought he was sleeping with his wife and
Yeah,
came at him with a claw hammer.
come at him after him with the claw hammer, and he hit him with the singletary, and they arrested him, put him in jail. And then we got together while he was waiting on that. And Mrs. Pierce, I guess it was, took me to the hearing.
Hello. Not yet. I'm running video on Granny. She's telling the story. I'm making video of it. I don't care about this weekend. I can stay this weekend. I just need somebody to cover me tomorrow night. Now, Sunday, I mean, Saturday I'll stay here, but Sunday, of course, I want to make it to church. Mm-hmm. I'll get a hold of them. Alright, okay. Love you. Okay, bye.
Is there some more popcorn in there?
I don't think so, Granny.
Don't think so, huh? Who was that?
That was Mom.
What'd she want?
We're just making sure we got this covered.
That you did what?
We're just making sure that we've got people lined out to stay with you.
What's that up there in that blue bag?
You
On
want
this
some
side.
microwave popcorn?
No, up there on this side. There, that blue bag. Yeah.
That's those round chips that I gave you earlier.
Oh.
You want some pretzels?
They're what?
It's the round chips.
Oh, I don't want them.
You want some pretzels?
Yeah, a couple or 3 of them. I'll try that. Yeah. I don't know if I want them. I thought you said cookies.
Well, I got some cookies in there too, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna try a couple of these.
All right.
And then if I want some cookies, I don't know. I'm just bored, I think.
I know, Granny.
I can't eat these till I get my teeth in. I knew I couldn't bite it in two when I put it end of it in my mouth.
It'll be all right.
Take these and I'll get them cookies and eat them whenever. Please and thank you.
You're welcome, Granny. 3.
Yeah, lamb right there. I gotta.
Here, hang on a sec. I don't want to put them right there on the chair.
We'll put them down there on there.
There you go.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Aunt Bessie was always different. I don't know.
Do what?
Aunt Bessie was always different than. I don't know what was her problem, unless it was because they was accusing her of having a baby by the only child they had. They said it died and it was her brother's baby, and I don't know if it was or not. I never did say anything to her about it, so.
Man, I just... I just have a hard time contemplating what kind of evil has to overtake somebody to make them think that something like that is okay, to rape your own kids. And
I don't know.
I can't even fathom that.
No, like they're having sex with their relation.
With your own kids and
Well, I know that happened. Because he told Magdalene, I didn't know this until several years after I was married. I went out to visit one time, and I don't even know where we sat or went or something, and she was telling me that Papa told her to go ahead and marry. Oh, can't even think of his name now. Charlie Close. And if she didn't want to live with him, she could come back home. And he had give Papa $50 to let him marry Magdalene. And that's when he told her if she didn't want to live with him, she could come back home. Because he got the $50 and he didn't care. But she told me that out of her own mouth. So I know it had to be true.
it's like a fictional book, Granny. You know what I mean? I mean, you would...
I've had people tell me I should have a book published. No, I don't know. I did think about it a little bit one time, but... Anyway, I have never sat and talked to any of my kids like this very often either.
I think now you look back on it and you remember all this stuff, and
it irks me in a way. It aggravates me.
Is it because did you just try to put it behind you and not think about it and not deal with it the majority of your life? And
that was a lot of
and
it.
now that you're, now that you're an older person and that's all you do, that's all you're able to do is sit and think now.
Yeah.
Whereas your whole life you stayed so busy, Granny. I mean, that's all you did was work from sun up to sundown. And now that's all you've got time to do is just sit and think. And so you just reminisce all this stuff.
Yeah. And Papa would get up of a morning and get his gun. I'm going groundhog hunting or squirrel hunting or whatever he was going to do. He did go get groundhogs a lot.
You ate groundhogs?
We sure did. And Mama would make a ash loblolly and put the groundhog hide in it. For I think it was 3 days, she'd let it soak in there. Take it out and scrape the hair off of that groundhog hide. And roll it up after she'd scrape the hair off of it, roll it up in an old shirt or towel or something and she'd roll it up after she got the hair off of it in some kind of garment or towel or something and let it kind of dry out a little bit. And then Mama would take that groundhog hide and just wring it and roll it and twist it and dry it out like that. And then Papa would take the groundhog hide after she got it dried, take a sharp knife and cut that groundhog hide up into shoestrings. And I went with her to Nashville, to the market. Oh, they used to have a wonderful market in Nashville. People would take garden stuff and sweet corn and like they do at markets here sometimes.
Like a farmer's market?
Hmm?
Like a farmer's market?
Yeah, only it was around the courthouse, a marketplace they held around the courthouse ground. And she would take them shoestrings up to that place, and the farmers would buy them for a dime a pair. And we would get she sold a lot of them shoestrings to the farmers because they would last forever.
Really?
Them groundhog shoestrings. It would last and last and last. Elmer and Alvin them would use shoestrings that was made from groundhog hides and their old shoes. Yeah. And people would buy them for a dime a pair. Of course, they lasted so long in their old shoes.
And it took 3 days to let the skins dry out, and then not to mention all the working it that she had to do to get a dime a pair.
Would have, her hands would be raw from where she would work them hides and get them dried out.
I can't even imagine how hard a life that would have been. I can't even fathom it, Granny.
What, her doing?
How hard a life.
We had it. Well, I gotta go pee. I got that other. No, that's my cookies down there. I knew there was something there.
Set them over there on your table if you gotta cook that there.
I gotta go pee.
Alright, let me shut down this video.
When I get on my feet, I'll be wet anyway, but
It'll be all right, Granny. We'll
I've
change you.
got more pull-ups, so